Hi, and welcome back to another AI in 5. I'm your host, Simon Chris. Joining me today is Steve Sammartino. Now, Steve is a futurist and a fellow AI keynote speaker. And we're going to be talking about where big data is moving into big energy. Hey, Steve, welcome to AI in 5. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Simon.
I've been looking forward to this chat for a long time. Big fan of your work. Love your content on LinkedIn. And I wanted to touch on today this concept kind of builds out of that digital trash idea of big AI and big power use. And I'd love to get your take on what you're seeing.
So, big tech are about to become big energy. And we know already that data centers take up anywhere between 3 and 5% of global energy usage, something that didn't even exist 20 years ago. And the biggest cost to big tech companies is electricity, it's energy. That's their biggest cost. They don't really have many salespeople, they don't have that many developers, they've got really high turnover. Most of them have more than $1 million in revenue per staff member. So their cost is energy, and now they're moving into ways as AI data centers require significant more amounts of energy than just data on social media or search.
Yeah.
They have to find ways to reduce their cost. And three of the big tech companies, Amazon, Google, actually four, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Meta, have all announced that they're going into nuclear power to
As a
offset their
core
energy
part of
costs.
their business, to resell or just to power their centers?
And so that's a really smart question. In the first instance, it's to offset their own costs. But I feel like this is a move for them to go into a new area of potential revenue that doesn't pique the interest of regulators and antitrust because they already dominate the information economy. And so it could be a strategic move, not just to reduce their costs, but to sell the wood chips of energy to their existing customer base, which is pretty much everyone in the world. And not just putting a broadband cable in, but why not let's sell you some energy at the same time? Because it turns out that energy and information are the same thing.
Yeah.
They're literally the same thing. And if we go back to the pre-digital era, 6 of the top 10 companies in the world, the biggest, were energy companies. And
Yeah,
now
of course.
7 of the top 10 companies in the world are technology companies. So I think big tech and big energy are kind of becoming the same thing. And if you thought the big tech was too powerful, well, they're about to add power to their revenue stream.
I was going to say, is there danger in putting nuclear power, nuclear energy in the hands of, the Musks and Zuckerbergs and
In
whatnot
the
of the
hands of
world?
irresponsible tech overlords who really couldn't care about anything other than money. Hi, my name's Mark Zuckerberg. Information and fake stuff is really important. Oh, Trump's president, we changed our mind on that. All care, no responsibility. Super dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, the 3 Mile Island nuclear plant is the one that Microsoft has done a deal to reopen.
Okay.
Google will have 7 plants open by 2035.
Wow.
And I do worry that you have unregulated businesses that have really poor reputations in protecting information and the externalities
Yep.
of the digital economy now into power. Now, of course, the thing that can give us some sense of relief is that energy is already highly regulated. So they're entering a space where regulation already exists. So it's not like a burgeoning greenfields economy where they could do dangerous things. I'm more worried about the power ironic, that
Yep.
they will get if they move into this space. And I feel as though they've got so much influence now on the zeitgeist. They pay a huge amount in lobbying that they could just do this. And before we know it, big tech is also big energy, and their power only increases, and
Yeah,
they end up
they're
with
running
Monopoly
out and they're running our
2.0.
lives. Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
Monopoly
you
2.0.
seeing any investments, any of these companies or the tier twos talking about making similar investments in the developing nations where they might also have data centers and things, or are they pretty much keeping it to the US?
Well, I know that Google is planning to do them around the world because their data centers are highly distributed. A lot
Yep.
of them are secret on where they are, but I know that they have them in all hemispheres across the earth, simply because that's part of the security doctrine of having cloud-based computing where your data is stored in more than one location in case there's an emergency, a fire, something breaks down. I imagine they would need to have the energy close to where the data centers are because those things work in concert with each other. So that would be, I imagine, third world countries. A lot of those places will have data centers put into place, not just the US and parts of Europe.
Yeah, wow. We could talk about this for hours, I'm sure, but we're at time. It is AI in five. I do want to ask a question that I ask every guest, and that is, excluding the obvious, get Steve and Simon to come in and do a joint keynote in your company.
We'd do a good
What
one
would
together.
could be a lot of fun, actually, like a he said, she said. Um, what would be your one bit of advice for an organization that's just starting their AI journey? What should they think about?
They should learn from the last two times they've already seen this. With the internet, all of them were slow. Oh, we can't publish things on the internet. We can't have our blogs. We are e-commerce, not sure we'll offend our retailers, all of that. And they were late and they lost. And
Yep.
then with social media, oh, I don't know if we can publish our own content and what we should do. Oh, should we go in this with policy? They were late and they lost. Be fast. You've seen it two times already. Go in. Yes, you're going to make mistakes. So long as it doesn't hurt anyone, so long as what you do is safe from a OH&S perspective, you
Yep.
need to take corporate risks where information, things might be wrong. You got to go all in because the last two times, those who were late lost. Don't be late this time. Get on board now.
Yeah, great advice, Steve. As always, fantastic to chat with you, and I look forward to catching up soon.
Me too. Thanks, Simon.